Zach, first of all, I guess just take me back to the beginning here of kind of when you were getting recruited out of high school. When did Gonzaga come on the radar, and why was that the school you ended up choosing to go through with your college career?
They were always on the radar just because they're Gonzaga. It'd be a pleasure to play there. You never know if you get a chance, but I would say my sophomore year of high school, they started reaching out to my dad because he was a coach on our bench at Gorman, and I think if I'm correct, Brian Michelson saw me at the Les Schwab tournament in Oregon, and after that, he reached out to my dad, and that's kind of where like the relationship started. And then obviously the rules after your junior year, I think is when they could start talking to you. He was one of the first people that I talked to, so we kind of had a relationship for at least 2 years before I made my decision. And that was a huge reason why I went there, just because that relationship was built over time, and they were one of the first people to show me love. Um, and as I got to know Michelson more, and then I got to know Coach Few more, and those relationships started to blossom. And then you go on your visits, your unofficials, your officials, and I just had a lot of love for how they ran things over there, and about how it was all about basketball. And I remember my first unofficial visit there. I went there and we landed. My dad and I went and we landed late in Spokane. And we got to the campus at like probably 9 or 10 o'clock, and we go to the arena, and that's where they practice and that's where they play. Like, I love that, being able to practice in the arena that you play in is always good because it's kind of rare now. So I like that. But I came in at like 9 or 10 o'clock, and there was guys working on the court, and like playing 3-on-3, I think, at the time. So I at that point, I was in awe of just the professionalism there, and seeing those guys work hard. And it's the reason why they were so good. So I just kind of fell in love with that whole thing. And Spokane was a great place. And that was a big reason. And I knew I could play a lot there when I got there too. I know when I made my decision, I don't think Karnowski was supposed to come back, but even though he did come back, like, it still worked out. But at the time, there was a big slot open there at the five position for me, so that was a big reason too.
And I know you only played 1 year here, but what do you think you kind of took away from your 1 year at Gonzaga that kind of helped prepare you a little bit better for your NBA career?
Uh, Coach Few pushed me pretty hard. There was I can always remember there was like a lot of open gyms, and we run summer camps there, and after summer camp you play an open gym, and then we might practice a couple of times a week. But he was just telling me I gotta go harder and work harder and have more effort on multiple plays in the games and the scrimmages and stuff. And that's something I never heard before, been coached on before. So they just did me a privilege of just coaching me as hard as they could, which made me a lot better. And then on top of that, just the way the practices were run, I think we're very close to how NBA practices are run. Once I got to the NBA, I got to see, like, I'm in practice in the NBA, and I'm like, oh, this is very similar. So I think they have that type of program that is built to be successful in college, but also prepares you for the next level.
And obviously, in your one season at GU, that was the first time that they ever made a Final Four. You guys were a national finalist. Kind of that March Madness run was really when Zach Collins kind of jumped out on that national stage. I guess just what are your best memories from that year, and especially there through your March run?
Yeah, I mean, the whole year we just continued to get better and closer as a team. And that's another thing that I could add to just the preparation that they did over there each game. It didn't matter who we were playing, whether they were top 25 or not ranked or whatever. And we prepared for every game like it was do or die. Like, we had to win. Like, it was a must win. And that was something that I really took with me to the NBA as well. So having that throughout the whole season, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of great memories with those guys. In college, you're with your teammates all the time. You got roommates on the road, in your apartments at on campus, and that group is super close, and we still talk to each other this day. So I think those memories will always be with me. When it comes to the tournament, like, it was one of the most fun like basketball months ever. For me personally, just because, again, you're going into these games, and even though we were a one seed, like, you never know what could happen in a tournament. So every game is so intense, and everybody's so tight, and just trying to win these games, not make mistakes. And And when you win on the biggest stage, there's nothing better than that. You know, you're winning against the best competition. The whole world's watching you. So, yeah, very, very fond memories of my time in March.
And now going on 8 years in the NBA for you, I guess how much do you still kind of keep track of where the Zags are at, and have you paid much attention to this year's team?
Yeah, I try to. I try to pay attention. This year I've watched them a little bit, but not as much. You know, especially lately. I've just been, you know, with the move and everything. It's just been like a whirlwind of stuff going on. But yeah, I definitely watch them. I definitely watch them and keep track. And I still talk to Michelson pretty much once a week, and we talk about the team and how I'm doing, how he's doing the team, and so it's been good.
Well, I guess just then, I guess if you give me your thoughts here heading into March with this year's team, I mean, it's kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster, you know. Now, you know, they've lost both games to St. Mary's, but they'll probably most likely have another chance at them here in Vegas. I guess just do you think this team has what it takes to go on a run like your team did in March?
Yeah, I'll never doubt a team is well coached as Gonzaga, just because I've been in those locker rooms and I know how they prepare. Um, but it's definitely, you know, kind of uncharted waters, you know, as you know, compared to the recent teams at Gonzaga, who's always been high seeds going into the tournament, and it's something that they're going to have to dig their heels in and embrace. I think that you combine, you know, that dog underdog mentality with the well coachedness and the preparedness that they have. I think they can definitely make a run. Like I said, I'll never doubt the Zags and Coach Few. So, um, but yeah, we'll see what happens, man. They're definitely at a different, like I said, they're definitely in just like a different vibe this year in terms of they're more of an underdog than they've been in the past, and I'm looking forward to see how they handle that.
And then just for you, obviously you faced a lot of adversity in your NBA career, dealt with a lot of injuries. And then, you know, going through the trade this year, I guess when it came time for the trade deadline this year, did you kind of have a sense that something might happen that involved you?
No, I didn't have any idea. I knew that we would probably make a move for somebody, for a bigger piece. You know, you obviously on social media, you heard the Fox rumors, pretty early on. A couple other stars, I think you heard the rumors, but you never know when your name's going to be put into the package or not. I didn't know until like a few minutes before it was announced. So I had really no idea, but I knew that they were going to do something.
And then I guess coming into Chicago there, like you mentioned, there have been some injuries. So you're in the starting lineup. You've been in double digits, or I guess like your last 5, 6 games here, you had two double doubles. Seems like you're really playing good ball right now. Why has it been such a good fit in Chicago for you?
You know, I think it's just been like it's all about opportunity and preparation, I think. I've tried to stay prepared all year. Obviously, my I was in and out of the lineup in San Antonio this year, so I had a more time to just be in the gym and work on my game and work behind the scenes more and just stay as ready as I could. You know, that was my whole mentality. You just never know when your number is going to be called, and you know, you get here and now I'm still, you know, on a new team with two established bigs who have had the same lineup all year that have kind of played off of each other, and Jalen and Vooch. And then unfortunately, obviously they go down. So now there's no bigs. It's just me. So I just have to go in there and be prepared to play a bunch of minutes. And I've been able to hit some shots, grab some rebounds, and affect winning. But on top of that, I think the coaching staff here has done a good job of helping me integrate myself, and not only me, but also Trey and Kev. And you know, fortunately, we got traded before the deadline, so we had like 3 or 4 days with the team, behind the scenes, learning the plays, learning the terminology before we were actually thrown out there. So I think all those things kind of helped.
And then my last one for you, you know, even though you only spent 1 year here in Spokane, you know, the fans all remember you. You were a crowd favorite. Obviously, when you got drafted to Portland, everybody was super excited being close to Spokane. I guess just what is that, you know, even only spending 1 year here, but having that Zag community always behind you as you've, you know, gone throughout your NBA career, what does that mean to you?
It's special. It's very special to be a part of, and I feel it every time I'm playing. There's Zag fans all across the NBA. I see Zag, uh, you know, fans with my pictures, my card from when I was playing at Gonzaga. That you know they always show a bunch of love, and it's nothing but love back from me and my family. Because when we were there, it was awesome, and it was honestly a tough decision to leave Gonzaga because of that. Obviously always wanted to be in the NBA, but there was no push from Gonzaga. It was all just pull to the NBA. Like it was emotional leaving Gonzaga just because of that love. So, and even on top of that, every summer the Zags get together in summer league, and we still have that dinner with the coaches and current and former players. So we're all still very much connected, man. And it's just very special to be a part of.
And then I guess my last one for you. You mentioned your great relationship with Coach Michelson. Obviously, he's the AHC, HCIW now at Gonzaga since Tommy left. Do you think that guy is going to be able to take over for Coach Few and keep this program where it's been at whenever that time comes?
I think so. I think so. He's been a great coach and just mentor for me. Helped me through a lot of things at Gonzaga, and still continues to help me today. And the guy just doesn't miss a beat. He's very locked in on his process and the details of everything. And he's very when I talk about preparation for any game we played that season when I was at Gonzaga, he was at the forefront, just being super intense and making sure that we knew everything about the other team, making sure that we knew our rotations, we knew the plays that we were going to run, the plays they were going to run. That was he was as much a part of that as anyone, and he takes a lot of pride in his work. So I think it'll be nothing but good things for him down the road.